evolution is going on in the platyhelminthes, we have seen that the mesoderm layer is originated. Okay, but the coelom is not there, so they are considered as a acoelomate animals. Now in the Aschelhelminthes you will find coelom is present, but the coelom is not true. This is false coelom, and the false coelom is known as pseudocoelom. So pseudocoelom is originated in Aschelhelminthes. This is an important question for you. Now let's see some of the members of this phylum Aschelminthes. So first one is the Ascaris lumbricoides. This is also known as the giant intestinal roundworm. It is generally present in the intestine of the humans. So that's why it is called giant intestinal roundworm. And see here, this is a female which is quite longer in size, and the male is shorter in size. So they show a characteristic called sexual dimorphism, which means the two sexes of the same species exhibit different characteristics beyond the difference in their sexual organ. So beyond the sexual organ, they are having some more different characteristics. So in this case, you will see that female is longer in size as compared to the male. Now if you see its mouth, see here, this is the mouth part. Here you will find 3 lips are there. Okay, it is easily visible in this figure. 3 lips. This one is the dorsal lip, and these two are the ventrolateral lips. Okay, because they are present on the ventral side as well as little bit lateral side, so they are called ventrolateral lip. And this is present on the upper side, means the dorsal surface, that is known as dorsal lip. These Ascaris lumbricoides is having the capability to increase their number, and they can block the intestine. Okay, so they cause a disease called ascariasis, that we will focus in the next lesson. So don't worry about that. Diseases is I will going to be discuss in the next lesson. Now next one is the Enterobius. This is also known as pinworm. See, small worms are there. These are the pinworms. Then this is loa inside the eye. You can see this is also known as eye worm. Next one is the Encyclostoma. It is also known as hookworm because hook-like structures are present in its mouth. So this is Encyclostoma. So these are some members of this phylum Aschelminthes. So as you can see how much dangerous they are, right? So as we have discussed that in the platyhelminthes are acoelomate animals. Coelom is not present. In the roundworms you will see they are pseudocoelomate because pseudocoelom is present. Now why it is called pseudocoelom? Because you can see here their ectoderm layer is outside, then there is a mesoderm layer, and inside there is an endoderm layer. If it is true coelom, the true coelom is surrounded from the all side by a mesoderm layer. See in this figure, you can see this is the coelom. Coelom is nothing but a cavity. Okay, so it is a cavity. Beside the gut there is another cavity, that is the coelom. So this is a coelom which is surrounded by a layer that is known as mesoderm. Okay, so that red color layer is mesoderm. But here you will see that this cavity is surrounded only from one side by the mesoderm layer, not from the other side. That's why it is called pseudocoelom. Alright. Now here this is the excretory system of these organisms, and the excretory system is made up of a cell called rennet cell, and it is H in shape. Okay, alphabet H. No, this cell is known as rennet cell. And see this figure, here you can see they are called roundworm because if you cut the TS of this section, you will see a circular structure, and you can see 3 layers are there: ectoderm, endoderm, and the mesoderm, that is the middle layer. Now move on to its general characteristic. So many roundworms lives as a parasites in plants and animals. So you can see that they are parasites and they are found in plants as well as in animals. Roundworms are also free living and occur in fresh water, in seawater as well as in the soil. So this is its habitat. Now they are called roundworm because they appear circular in the cross section. They are unsegmented. In the platyhelminthes you have seen that segmentation is there, but that segmentation is known as pseudometamerism. Okay, but here you will not find any segment. It consists of a firm non-living resistant cuticle Okay, a cuticle layer is there, that's why they are not digested by our stomach, because they are having a resistant layer called cuticle, right? And this is the characteristic feature syncytial epidermis. A layer is there which is filled with the cytoplasm. It contains numerous nuclei. So that type of epidermis is called syncytial epidermis, and muscle layer is present. Body cavity is also called pseudocele, which is filled by pseudocoelom. Okay, and important thing is that this pseudocoelom is developed from the blastocele of the embryo. Okay, so from here the question can come in the examination that this pseudocoelom is derived from the blastocele of the embryo. Now move on to next one. Alimentary canal is complete with muscular pharynx. So they have complete alimentary canal. Then skeletal, respiratory, circulatory system are absent. Pseudocoelomic fluid present in the pseudocoelom maintains body shape and forms hydroskeleton. Because the skeleton is not present, so this pseudocoelom fluid, it maintains the body shape and forms the hydroskeleton. Gaseous exchange in anaerobic respiration occurs by diffusion through the body surface. Excretory system, already I have shown you, consists of gland cells or of canals or of both. So excretory system contains gland cells. In Ascaris, H-shaped excretory system of rennet cell is present. Okay, as I have shown you that H-shaped excretory system is there, which is the rennet cell, and it is seen in Ascaris. Whereas other members contain gland cells or also called canal cells or both. Ammonia is the main excretory matter. If they are in the water or if they are on the land, they can also secrete urea. It consists of a circumpharyngeal ring that gives rise to nerves forward as well as backward. Now what does this word mean, circumpharyngeal ring? It means that there is an arrangement of the nerve, or we can say arrangement of the ganglia around the esophagus or the pharynx. Okay, so nerve arrangement is around the esophagus or the pharynx. So that type of arrangement is called circumpharyngeal. Okay, and they make a ring-like structure. That's why we call it a circumpharyngeal ring. Sexes are separate, dioecious. Okay, dioecious means there are two sections, means male is separate and the female is separate. They show sexual dimorphism. Okay, I have shown you what is sexual dimorphism. Then fertilization is internal inside the body, and asexual reproduction is absent in this case. So now complexity is increasing in each and every phylum. Okay, development may be direct or indirect. Now during indirect development, larva is present. Now you have to learn the larva of these animals. Encyclostoma, also called hookworm, its larva is flariform larva. Wicheria, it is known as filarial worm. Its larva is microfilaria. Ascaris and Enterobius, its larva is rhabditiform larva. Okay, so flariform larva, Encyclostoma, microfilaria larva, Wicheria, and rhabditiform larva, Ascaris and Enterobius. So from here also one question comes in your NEET or your AIIMS exam. Now about the sense organ. Sense organs are basically of three types: papillae, amphids and phasmids. Papillae are the raised structures. Amphids are the pits. Okay, you know what are pits? So papillae are the raised structures, whereas amphids are the pits. So they both are the sense organs. Now papillae occurs on the lips on both the sides of anterior end and in front and behind the cloacal aperture. Observe this diagram. Here you will see this is the cloacal aperture, and these are the papillae which are present on both the side of the cloacal aperture. Okay, here also these are papillae, and here these all are papillae. Okay, so in front and behind the cloacal aperture you will find papillae, as well as you will find these on the lips also. So this is the lip region. 3 lips are there, and in the lips also you will found sense organs are there, papillae. All right. Next is the amphids. Amphids are present on the lips and they are basically the chemoreceptors, whereas papillae are the tactile in function. Okay, if you touch them they feel it, right? Whereas amphids are the chemoreceptors. Now next is the phasmids. Phasmids are similar to the amphids, but they are smaller in this structure, and they are also glandulosensory in nature, means they act as a gland as well as sensory organ. They secrete enzymes or hormones as well as they act as a sense organ, right? So the phasmids are glandulosensory in nature. Now here are some of the unique feature of this phylum. Syncytial epidermis, we have seen syncytial epidermis is there, epidermis which contains numerous nuclei. Then muscle layer of body wall consists of longitudinal fibers only. In this section you will see these all are the muscles, and these muscles are longitudinal. Okay, then there is a pseudocoelom which is not a true coelom, it is a false coelom. So these are the main characteristic feature of this phylum Aschelminthus.